But first up, he's a columnist for The Hill and the chairman of the American Conservative Union. I know you are all members. Please welcome Matt Schlapp. Matt. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here.
I think good to be here.
Well, I really want to thank you for being here. I mean, I have been in your position where you have to come to a place where the audience is not with you. It's not.
What was that, church?
Yeah, pretty good.
Can I leave now? I think I did good.
No, you did good.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, so let's try to talk in a way, not because I know we're from different sides of the aisle. You're a Trump supporter. I am not. And start with what we agree with. I think you would agree that you're not blind to why a lot of people are freaking out about him, right?
No.
Great. See? We're starting already. Okay. And that's because, for example, the Time magazine came out today.
I read it.
Okay, and the title was, "Is Truth Dead?"
Right.
And that's because of him that we're asking that question. Do you think that that's fair, that we ask that question because of Donald Trump?
I think everything's fair, and I think what people who fear Donald Trump want to know is, is he full of a little bullshit sometimes and a little bit of hype, or is there something else there that you're worried about a little more? And I would say, as a Trump supporter, that I actually think it is part of someone who's not been involved in politics, who's come into the system, has had amazing success in a very short period of time.
No.
Yes, he has.
What success has he had?
He became the president.
Okay.
He had political success.
Political success.
Yes.
That's different. Yes, he fooled people. Okay. All right. Let's stay on what we agree with.
It's a deal.
Let me read what the Wall Street Journal, not exactly a liberal publication, said. If President Trump announces that North Korea launched a missile that landed within 100 miles of Hawaii, would most Americans believe him? We're not sure, which speaks to the damage that he's done to the presidency with his endless stream of exaggerations, evidence-free accusations, implausible denials, and other falsehoods.
Look, I think everyone should ask him the tough questions and hold him to account for what he says.
But do you think he's a liar on a scale we have never seen?
No, I don't.
Really?
I think he ran against somebody who was a liar on a scale we haven't seen in a long time. I really do. I think that one of the reasons Donald Trump is president is because the Clintons didn't really ring true with a lot of people. You have to agree to that.
I'm talking about a scale we've never seen before. I'm talking about a different scale. Like, I see 3 million people who don't exist. I think President Obama wiretapped me when even Republicans have come out and said that's bullshit. You don't think that's a different level of lying?
I think that when it comes on the wiretapping charge, quite honestly, there's no evidence for it.
So isn't that a different level of lying?
I think that was quite an extraordinary tweet.
Is it a different level of lying?
And they're investigating it now. And I'll tell you this: if they find
investigating it,
they are. They're investigating. It's a bipartisan investigation, and the FBI is investigating. Look, Bill, if they find that there's no proof for what he said, then
that's if they find. See, this is the damage I think he's doing to this country. The fact that he says something, and then we all have to scramble, not we all, your team, has to scramble to pretend that the Mad King actually saw a 12-foot bunny on the lawn. So that you have, what we saw was this guy, Devin Nunes. Now, he's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. This was always bipartisan. This was the one place where bipartisan reigned because we have a great country in the sense that the intelligence agencies, they're not just there on their own. They have to share their information. But we were smart. We said not the whole Congress, because they can't keep a secret.
They can't.
Okay, but they got to tell somebody.
That's right.
So it's the Intelligence Committee, just 6 or 8 people. He's head of that. Okay, so this week, he ran over to the White House with some bullshit that was a nothing burger, that Trump's name came up on incidental collection, not what Trump said, that he was wiretapped.
That's right.
And it probably wouldn't have if he didn't have Putin on speed dial.
But can I just bring up this incident?
They were tapping Russians. That's what they do. and his name came up. This is legal. This is normal. And he went over there to give Trump cover. See, this is what I'm talking about. The fabric of democracy, little tears. The Intelligence Committee, which was something that was bipartisan. Now, we fucked that up. Now we ruined that. And
I don't think we've ruined it.
Well,
I think
we haven't done it a lot of help.
They're going to come out with a report. It'll be a bipartisan report. And the FBI is going to come out with findings as well. And maybe we can go back to, there is maybe an area here that we do agree on, which is all of this incidental surveillance and all of this, they call it, just the common, ordinary thing where they pick up conversations. I'm troubled by that. I wasn't always troubled by that. I'm more troubled by that as I see how extensive this is. I don't think it's appropriate that they just pick up someone's conversation. We talk about a wiretap. They actually don't. Okay. Wiretapping is a very specialized thing, but the surveillance that goes on by our intelligence agencies is too broad.
Yeah, you loved it when Bush was president. Okay, but that's...
No, it's much broader now. We know because technology can get everywhere.
If we want to have that discussion about whether the spy agency should be doing that, we can, but that's not what this was about. Let's not pretend it is. We're trying to have an agreement on a real basis.
But we do agree on that.
Well, we agree that it should be looked at.
And it should be, they should go after narrow targets. And by the way, if those targets are members of the Trump team that had inappropriate contact with Russia, I'm absolutely fine with them being investigated. I think if they didn't do anything wrong, they want their names cleared. But if they did something wrong, the American people should know about it.
But there is I'm just saying, there is a problem when the president says some batshit thing that he does because of his ego. You would admit he's an egoist, right? An egomaniac?
I think he has a healthy ego.
No, I'm talking... An egomaniac.
I'll use my own
words.
words.
What about a narcissist?
Everyone in politics is a narcissist.
Stop.
Can you see this?
Okay, on a level,
their names are on everything.
How about a guy who will never admit he's wrong? Is he that?
Well, okay, so let's go through presidents admitting that they're wrong. Do presidents tend to admit a lot that they're wrong?
I've seen every president do it.
Give me the examples. When did Obama admit he was wrong?
Obama admitted he was wrong when he said, if you want to keep your doctor, you can have your doctor.
Okay, that's right.
Which was his
and the
big
website
lie.
He apologized for. That's right.
Yes, and
that's
his
fair.
website. I mean, everybody has a level of humility. You must see that this guy is different.
And if
I'm just asking you to see.
I do.
Okay,
and if the tweets, if what he says is wrong, and if the tweets turn out to be wrong, he ought to have the character to apologize. And I say, wait till this investigation is concluded.
So, Comey, let's get to that part of the week. Because that was all the way back on Monday.
Yes.
When the FBI director was out there, and he said, we've been looking into collusion between the Trump team and Russia since July. So, and then CNN reports there actually is collusion. Adam Schiff, who is the Democrat on the Intelligence Committee, said this was a change this week. He said, yes. It's not just we're looking for it, we have it now.
I heard him say that.
If there is such a thing as collusion, that's treason and impeachable. Would you agree with that?
Incredibly serious, especially...
Is it treason?
It's about the worst thing I heard of. I don't know what the legal term. I think it's probably treasonous. I think it's probably treasonous. I think it's terrible. Look,
I bet you if it was a Democrat, it would be definitely treasonous.
Look,
I'm guessing if it was Hillary,
Bill,
there would be no probably in there. I'm just guessing.
Let me use my words here. I think Vladimir Putin's a terrible thug. I think that we have a huge problem with him. I don't want to go to war with him, but I am worried about what he is doing. I think he surveils and tries to influence this country in every way he can. I think he did try to hack our elections. And I think if anybody involved in the Trump campaign was involved in that, I think that is about the most serious crime you could commit.
Well, that would be treason, the most serious crime.
Whatever.
Okay, so we say treason. Okay.
But let's wait until there's the investigation.
I agree. We're not arguing about that, but we're saying and indulge me because that is what the FBI director says he's doing.
That's right. I'm glad he's doing it.
Okay, great. So if it is, it's treason, and you would say that that's impeachable, right?
Terrible. Well, the impeachable piece.
Man.
The impeachable. Hold on. The impeachment. You've just jumped to Donald Trump with impeachment.
I'm just saying if. I'm saying if someone commits this crime, it's treason, and that's impeachable.
If you commit treason, I think you should be impeached. How about that? Absolutely.
All right, baby. Look, we're getting somewhere.
Is this just water here? Is that
yes. Well, actually, we switched it on Darrell Issa a few weeks ago, but that's a different story. All right, last question, because healthcare went down this week. Okay, the deal maker in charge, who was the greatest deal maker, couldn't get it done.
Are you talking about Paul Ryan? Or
No,
I'm
talking about, well, Paul Ryan doesn't even understand what insurance is, but that's another story. Okay, so let me take, I know what your argument is. And there's a side to it, which is, look, people in this country are too indulged. They're too entitled. They get too much from the government. I would even agree with that. And by the way, that's some white people, too.
That's true.
Some white people
and
get too much
and some Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what, you know, when we see what the Freedom Caucus wanted to cut, you're like, well, that's pretty rough stuff. You know, you're cutting emergency room visits and stuff like that. But their view is, look, this is a product like any other, and, you know, you should be able to fend your own way. But then you are going to have to take responsibility for the fact that if this did pass, people would die. You're okay with that, to make that point that people should be on their own?
I'm not okay with the idea that people dying, no. But I think that it would have been smart to get the process started by passing something in the House and coming up with an alternative. Look, we've been running around the country for 7 years saying that we have an Obamacare alternative. And when it doesn't pass the House, it's hard to say you have an Obamacare alternative.
But do you,
so I would like this to get started.
Right. But do you watch any other shows, news channels beside Fox? I'm just asking. I'm not being snarky.
No, I'm on MSNBC and CNN
I see you
and Bloomberg
and Chris Matthews all
right.
the time. Okay, but do you watch it?
Yes.
Because like every day
I watch Chris Matthews tonight.
They have people on town hall meetings. And the theme that comes up over and over again is the people standing up and saying to the congressman, if you do this, you know I will die. And you can tell they're being real. I will die.
Yeah, look, this is the reason why healthcare is about the most difficult public policy thing to ever get done. Hillary Clinton tried it. It's tough because it's someone's life.
He said,
it's someone's life. Let me try to go here, okay? So the fact is this, do we have to have an alternative? Absolutely. You can't run around and just be against things. You have to talk about what you're for. And I think one of the reasons why Obamacare was a problem politically for the Democrats, and as you know, they did do a lot of losing over the course of the last 8 years. And one of the central reasons, if you believe polling, is because people were dissatisfied with Obamacare. It wasn't a bunch of rich people. It was working class people who saw their premiums go up and they didn't see their health care getting better. They felt like the guys who were working felt like they were paying for other people who weren't.
You're right. Both sides were disingenuous about this. I said it last week on our show. The Democrats should have owned the fact this is wealth redistribution.
It is.
Millionaires paid more so poor people could live.
And a lot of middle class people.
How horrible.
A lot of middle class people paid more. A lot of middle class people paid more.
Yes, some of that.
It's true. And that's why they voted as they voted.
But Trump said today, he said, you've all heard my speeches. I never said repeal and replace within 64 days. Here's what he said. You're going to end up with great health care for a fraction of the price that's going to take place immediately. Okay? Immediately. Fast. Quick. He's a fucking liar, Matt. Isn't that a lie?
No.
Wait. But I just read it. He said, fraction of the cost, great health care immediately.
Okay.
But today he said, I never said it would take place within 64 days. How is that not a lie?
Okay, so Tom Price has been confirmed to be the Secretary of HHS. Tom Price.
How is that not a lie?
Because the person he picked to be the Secretary of HHS can make big changes in the healthcare system. This is true. You know that Kathleen Sebelius, a lot of Obamacare went through.
But he said immediately.
But that is going to happen immediately. He's there.
But immediately is over.
You mean that he meant that the bill would pass and immediately be implemented immediately?
Okay. Thank you.
I tried very hard.
I tried too. Okay. And I'm going to keep trying, because I know you're not a bad guy. All right. Okay. Matt Schlapp, give him a hand. It's not easy.